Hello everyone, the design of machine elements 2. So myself Swarup, assistant professor. So I'll be teaching about the design of machine elements 2. So today we'll be learning about the spur gears. So today topics will be covered under this video will be design procedure of spur gears and a few problems on spur gears. The data handbook used is 4th edition by Balveer Reddy and Mahadev. Design procedure of spur gears. So the initial step will be the material selection. So depends upon the type of materials what we'll be using for different types of gears. So cast iron, aluminum, bronze, and different types of materials. So we will be selecting from table number 12.7, that is page number 234. So this table will be selecting so different types of grades: bronze, phosphor, manganese, aluminum, forged steel. So all the different types of materials we will be selecting. Okay. So with respect to this table, we will be always considering the allowable design stress and even Brinell hardness number simultaneously while selecting the material. Under this material selection, we need to identify the weaker part. So what do you mean by weaker part? There are two there are two drives, that is gear and pinion, correct? Now the material remains, if the material remains same for both, that is for both gear and pinion. Pinion we call it as a smaller one, which is having less number of teeth. Okay, usually we call it as a driven gear. So for a differentiation, we just call it as a pinion. Okay. So if both the materials are of same kind, then we will take pinion is weaker. Why? Because pinion will undergo more stress concentration because it will be rotating at high speeds. Okay. Next one. If material is different, for example, gear is made up of cast iron and pinion is made up of cast iron of different grades. Okay. Then there will be one factor which will define which is the weaker part, that is sigma d into y. Okay, I will explain you in the later stages how to calculate this value so that it will determine the weaker part. Okay, next one. So why should we do this? Because in the next, so all the design procedures, different steps we will be calculating about dynamic loads, endurance limit, wear loads and different materials. So hence we have to take the design is based on the weaker part. Hence the specifications or the dimensional parameters will be considering only with respect to weaker part. Okay. It might be a gear or it might be a pinion. Okay. Second step. Initial step we need to find the module. Okay. So based on the module itself, the further calculations will depends. Usually module is nothing but the diametrical pitch divided by number of teeth. Okay, so this is a formula which is being used from the data handbook, okay, to calculate module, that is this equation is known as Lewis equation for beam strength of tooth. Okay, we will be using this if diameter is known. Suppose if diameter is unknown, suppose if different types of problems will be available where the diameter is unknown, then we will be using this formula, that is we'll be using the from the data handbook. Okay, with respect to y, what is y and what is k. So these are the factors where we will be considering from the data handbook to solve the module. Okay, next C1, check for sigma d in both the cases. So we have to check the sigma d. So this is very important because when we are selecting the allowable stress, that is the material, similarly we will be selecting here from this table we will be getting the sigma d, that has to be greater than the permissible value, hence design will fail. Hence adopt the change in module and we have to repeat the C step. Okay, that I will explain you while explaining the problems. Third step will be calculate the dynamic load. Next one is calculate the endurance limit. Next is We have to check here the safe design. That is, endurance limits must be greater than dynamic load. Next is calculate wear load. Similarly, for safe design, the wear load must be greater than dynamic load. Okay. So this is very much important. Suppose if wear load is less than dynamic load, then we have to equate the dynamic load with respect to wear load, and hence we have to again calculate the value of K. Okay. Now find the values of K and choose suitable hardness. So this is very much important step with respect to gears and pinion that I will be explaining from the problems. Okay. So this is basically design procedure. Let's see how to solve the problems. So let's take a basic problem initially, just to understand how certain terms are involved in solving the problems. Okay, this one. A pair of straight teeth per gear is to transmit 20 kilowatt when pinion rotates at 300 rpm. So he has given the speed of the pinion. The velocity ratio is 3:1. The allowable static stress for pinion and gear materials are 120, 100. He has given the sigma d value for both pinion and gear. The pinion has 15 teeth and its face width is 10 times the module. Okay. So he has given the number of teeth in the pinion. Now the tooth form factor, that is y, is equals to this one. Okay, velocity factor is Cv is equals to 3 by 3 plus V, where V is the velocity in meter per second. Now is asking to determine module, face width, PCD of gears from standpoint of strength only. Okay, let's see how to solve the problem. So basically gears we have to solve with respect to weaker part. Okay, how to check whether it is a weaker part or not? Initial step, the unknown value parameters has to be written. That is, P is known, I is given, B. What is B? B is nothing but the face width. So as given in the question, face width is 10 times the module. So B is equals to 10 times the M, where M defines the module. Okay, speed of the pinion, that is N1. So see here, the notations are very much important. You can either consider N suffix P, that is speed of the pinion, or you can consider N suffix 1, that is speed of pinion. 1 represents the pinion. Okay. Allowable static stress, that is sigma dt, or you can take sigma d1. As I told you, suffix indicates P with respect to pinion, 1 is with respect to pinion. Okay, G with respect to gear, 2 is also gear. You can take either of these two or either of these two for further calculations. He has given this. Now number of teeth on pinion, he has given, that is ZP. Okay, ZP he has given, Z1 both either of the teeth 15, where I is equals to we know the speed ratio, that is Zg by Zp is equals to Zg, that is 3 into 15, that is 45 teeth. We calculated from the 45 teeth. Now identify the weaker part, pinion or gear, with respect to static strength factor. Now how to identify? As I said you, sigma d into y, sigma d into y, strength factor is equals to sigma d into y. Now we have to calculate this value, whether I have to check which is the greater one and which is the lesser one. Depending on that, we will identify the weaker part. Okay. Now from the question we know y is equals to he has given, or we can take from the data handbook with respect to the involute system he will be giving. Okay. Now Z, suppose if you are calculating with respect to pinion, we have to take with respect to Z as number of teeth on pinion. Okay. We are calculating with respect to gear, we have to take number of teeth on gear. So you will be getting both the strength factors. So if you check both values, so which one is less? This one is less. Hence, we will be considering pinion as the weaker part. So other calculations will be depending on the pinion. Okay guys, see, sigma d into y, sigma d into y2. So in this, sorry, not in the previous case, in this case, we have to check which one is less. So simultaneously, pinion is less, hence we are considering the pinion on the design considerations. To find module, next step, as you all know, now the diameter is unknown, hence we are taking this formula. This formula is will be getting from data handbook. It is 12.5 equation, page number 204. Here, see the unknown values. The very first step he has given this b is equals to 10m. Okay, if you see page number 204, okay, under this equation you will be getting k is nothing but b by m, that is equals to 10, which is given in the question. What is next step? That is form factor. Y is equals to pi into y. Okay, what is y? Y you have calculated previously, that is strength factor. Okay, so hence design is based on pinion. We have to consider here y suffix p. Okay, this is very much important. If it is gear, then we have to take gear, because design is based on pinion, hence we are taking p, y suffix p. Okay, just multiply with pi and keep it as it is, that is y. Next is velocity, pi dn by 60. Here d suffix p, n suffix p, both are related to pinion, hence we are taking only with respect to pinion. This is very much important because here diameter is unknown, hence we know the module. Okay, module is nothing but d by z, that you will be getting from data handbook only. That is 12.1b, page number 203. This is a formula. This is a basic formula. M is equals to d by z. Hence we are taking d is equals to m into z. Again, z is with respect to pinion. Keep this very importantly. Now m is unknown. Hence we keep velocity in terms of m. Okay. Next one, factor. So this factor is very much velocity factors has to be considered from the data handbook, that is from page number 205. You will be having equation 12.6, but he has given in the question, take it as it is. Velocity is just substitute in the form of m. Okay, just keep it as it is. Next one, p. P is 2 pi nt by 60. That is momentum of the torque. You can take it as. Now p has given 2 pi np, again p, because design is based on pinion, hence we have to take speed of the pinion. Mt you calculate from here. Okay, all these values you have to substitute back in this main equation. Understood, guys? All this equation you have to substitute in this main equation to calculate the value of m. If we substitute all the values, you will get m in terms of quadratic equation. So if we substitute and solve, we will get one positive value as an integer, and that value you have to consider. Now you have to standardize this module. Okay, now you have to standardize this module. So if you go to page number 229, that is 12.2 table number. So there 7.23, if you check, okay, the next nearest standard is 8, that is preferred 1. There will be bracket preferred 1. So that you have to take. Now the standard module is 8. Now he is asking to find the face width. We know from this equation b by m is equals to 10. If m is known, you can calculate the value of b. Okay, now b is 80. Similarly, pitch circle diameter is asking. Pitch circle diameter is, as I told you, dp, that is m is nothing but d by z. If you substitute m into z, you will be getting dp. P is with respect to pinion, g is with respect to gears. So if I substitute, we will getting pitch circle diameters of pinion and gears. So this is the basic problem which I solved. Okay, so just substitution formulas and some calculations which is needed. Okay, but this is the main step which will be solving, and further design calculations has to be done. Okay, so let's see how to solve problem. Okay, now this is a similar problem. Let's see how to solve. A pair of spur gears has to transmit 20 kilowatt power he has given from a shaft rotating at 1000 rpm to a parallel shaft which is rotating at 310 rpm. Now 310 rpm is based on gear, 1000 rpm with respect to pinion. Number of teeth on pinion is 31. He has given with 20-degree full depth involute tooth. So this is very much important. 20-degree full depth involute tooth. The material for pinion is steel. Okay, he has given the material. Okay, so SAE 1040 untreated with allowable static stress he has given. The material for gear cast as steel untreated with allowable static stress he has given. Okay, sigma D. Determine the module phase width of the gear pair. Okay, similar problem. Also find the dynamic tooth load on the gears. Take the service factor as 1.5. Okay, so let's see how to solve the problem. Power he has given, speed he has given, alpha he has given, that is 20 degree. Okay, Z1 is equals to 31. Number of teeth on pinion. Similarly, sigma D1, sigma D2 he has given. He is asking to find these 3 and 1 values. Similarly, first step is to find the velocity ratio, that is N by N1 or D2 by D1 or Z2 by Z1. 3.23 is the velocity ratio. Z1, you know, similarly I is equals to Z2 by Z1, you will get Z2. Okay, now the first step is to identify the weaker part, that is we need a strength factor sigma D into Y. For Y he has not given in the question, hence we have to take this 20-degree full depth involute tooth form. Okay, if you go to page number 204, that is 12.5D. Okay, so there you will get for 20-degree involute system, he has mentioned clearly, hence we have to take Y is equals to this formula. Similarly, Y1 is Z1, Y2 Z2. If you substitute Z1 and Z2, you will get Y1 and Y2. Okay, similarly multiply with respect to sigma D1 and similarly Y2 multiply with respect to sigma D2. If you check here, see now gear is the value of strength factor is less for gear is 19.90, hence the design is based on gear. Understood guys? Previously it was the pinion, now it is gear. Ultimately the smaller value depends the design calculations based on gear. Okay, this step is over. Now to find the module, you know the diameter is unknown, he has not given the diameter, hence we take this formula. So P is equals to 2 pi nt by 60. Similarly N2 is considered speed of the gear. Okay, because design is based on gear. Okay, 310 power he has given, MTU calculating. Now this is very much important step, and since K he has not given, we will assume it as K, that is B by M is equals to 10. Similarly CV is equals to 0.5. This is very much important step. Okay guys, now form factor Y, pi into Y2. Y2, Y2 is which is a gear, so multiply with respect to pi, will get the form factor. Substitute the values here, you will be getting M. Now M is equals to 3.4. So if you check in the table, that is 229, the next nearest value is 3.5 mm module. Now let's see how to solve the problem. Once you get the module, you can calculate the pitch circle diameter of pinion, that is M into Z1, M into Z2 for gear. Face width, you know, 10 into M, that is module, that is you will get face width. Okay, these three values is clear. Now next one, since CV was assumed, we shall check it. We assume CV, we don't know actually. So we shall check for design stress. As I told you in the design procedure, it must be less than the permissible value. So let's see. To check for sigma do, we use the formula Ft. Okay. So leave this equation formula, that is from 12.5a. This equation is 12.5a, page number 204. Okay. Velocity, you know, pi dn by 60. With respect to gear, we have to take velocity is unknown. Now, since we got velocity is less than 8, if you check page number 208, 205, that is 12.6a, there you can see for ordinary cut gears running with pitch line velocity up to 8 meter per second. Hence we have to take CV is equals to this formula. If you substitute the velocity here, you will get CV is equals to 0.349. Now we have to get the value of Ft, tooth load. Okay, tangential tooth load. So this formula we will be getting from 12.8a, page number 206. So there if you substitute the value of MT, multiplied with service factor. This is very much important here. Service factor has to be multiplied here, and D we have to take with respect to gear because design is based on gear. Okay, if you will get ft, and if you substitute all the equations in the previous formula, there you will get sigma d2, that is 271.34. okay, now this value is greater than 137.37, that is allowable static stress of gear, that is it is greater than the value, hence design will fail here, because as I told you in the design procedure, it must be less than the permissible value. Hence, we have to change the module. Okay, guys. Hence, we have to change the module. Now, we have to adopt next higher version of module. You will be getting, if you check page number 229. Okay, so there 3.4. okay, the next higher value is 3.5 you have taken. Okay, so hence because the value is almost 2 times the allowable permissible stress, hence if you take 4 also, it will be very less, almost it will be near to some value 200, but still it will be less than. So we shall adopt m is equals to 5. No problem if you take 4 also, you will get, if it is satisfied, done. But if you adopt some little bit higher value by just looking at this value, so if you adopt m is equals to 5, let's see whether this the allowable static stress will be less than the permissible stress. Now, similarly, if m is assumed as 5 mm, shall adopt it from the standard table. Now change the pitch circle diameter of the pinion again. Multiply m by 5. Similarly, 10 into 5 is 50. Now, velocity we have to calculate again. That is d21 n2. Okay. Similarly, velocity is greater than 8 meter per second. Hence, we have to take the next value. That is, we have to consider the next higher value from the velocity factor. Okay, if you substitute the velocity here, we will be getting the value 12.6 b. Okay, page number 3205. C we will be getting similarly again from the page number 206, that is 12.8 a. We will be getting the ft tooth load, tangential tooth load. If you substitute all the values again in the formula, see now you got 90 megapascal. Okay, guys, so now this is less than the allowable size, hence the design is safe. All the values we assumed is satisfactory. Okay, now we shall proceed to find the face width. You know, face width b is we has given, you can find it out in the previous one, that is m into 10 5, m into 10, m is 5, 5 into 10 is 50. To find the dynamic tooth load, so if you go to page number 207, so there you will be getting this formula, that is dynamic load, Buckingham formula. We call it as Buckingham formula. Equation to determine the maximum dynamic load on the gear tooth. Okay, so let's see how to calculate the unknown values from this step. Okay, so if you see a page number 207 clearly, below this formula there k3 is given, that is 20.67 in SI units. Okay, you have to take that. Now velocity 8 meter per second. Now velocity is 8 meter per second. So to find E, if you see E is measured error in action between gears. So if you go to page number 12.14, that is page number 237, if you go there, you can check the maximum permissible error. For the velocity of 8 meter per second, the error you will get is 0.05. You can see page number 12 page number 237, table number 12.14. For velocity 8, you will get error as 0.05. Okay, guys. Now at alpha is equals to 20-degree involute, steel. Okay, C, we need to find the value of C because the unknown value is C is here. C, if you go there, 20-degree involute, if you check it clearly, 20-degree involute for steel. Okay guys, steel, In the first column material you select steel. In the second column, that is tooth form, is 20 degree. Now if you see the error there, it is 0.05 we have actually, but in the table we don't have 0.05, hence we have to consider 0.04. The value is 457.8, but we need for E is equals to 0.05, correct? From the table, E is equal to 0.04, nearest value, C is 457. But we need for E, just cross multiply, you will be getting C value. Understood, guys? Just cross multiply to get the C value. C is equals to 575.25. So now substitute all these values here. So you will be getting the value of FD. Understood, guys? That is 19.30 kilonewton. This is the dynamic tooth load which will be acting on the gear. Guys, so thank you one and all.